Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Grow Up Podcast.
Hey. I'm looking at your shirt. I really like it. It's like a flowery crop.
It's like super stained actually, but it was a Walmart pajama section find.
Oh, it's cute.
Thank you. I actually really like it. I'm really into t-shirt crops right now. Like the big, like they're loose fitting, but they're cropped.
Yeah. I actually cut up some of my t-shirts the other day.
Yeah.
Like a crop, kind of like just to work out in and stuff, wear around the house.
Yeah.
Because I just feel like, I don't know how, but I've accumulated so many t-shirts.
Yes.
And it's like not like a cute t-shirt that I'd wear out in public. It's just kind of like a, oh, there you go. It's laundry day.
Yeah. Or just like at home cleaning. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought about cutting some of mine after we did that flag football. Mm-hmm. I was like, I need to cut some of my t-shirts.
Remember that dragon one we got for the kids' heart challenge?
Yes.
I cropped it. It's like a cropped dragon shirt. It's like a crop with a kid's orange dragon at the top because, you know, I'm just so cool.
Do you feel like dragons? Like
I don't know what I was thinking. It was just kind of funny, you know. I don't know why. I was just kind of like, I have a dragon t-shirt.
I think I gave mine to one of the boys. I was like, you could sleep in this or something. Mm-hmm. I was like, I won't wear it.
Well, you said that's a pajama shirt. Do you have lots of like cute pajamas?
No. I got a pajama shirt to wear like as a shirt.
Oh,
like okay. I bought it knowing I would wear it. Like,
oh, okay.
No, I usually sleep in like just a big t-shirt or like a dress.
There are like two types of girls: the girlies with like the matchy pajamas,
right?
And then there's me, where I literally just grab whatever's in my closet. I think I have like 2 pairs of like matching sets of pajamas, but other than that, it's like
I can think of one. It's like a tank top and shorts, like.
And then I have some like wintry pajamas for like pajama day at school.
Right, yeah.
But there's like thick fleece pajamas.
Yeah, they're not. I can't even sleep in regular pants.
No.
Fleece pants? Are you kidding me?
No, those are strictly for.
I'd be like,
those are strictly for dress up day. That's it. We're not wearing fleece. And it's like they look like a sweater.
Yeah.
So they're just, I don't know, they're kind of goofy, but they're great for pajama day. Well, they're pajama day.
When I first started teaching and it was pajama day, I was like, oh, I have to buy some pajamas.
Exactly. I had to go buy appropriate pajamas.
Yeah, because I'm like, you don't want me to come to school in my pajamas.
No.
Fired.
Tiny shorts. I get hot.
Let me ask you something.
Oh, Lord.
What are you afraid of? If you had to give me like a couple.
Oh my gosh. Whoa, that took a turn. I guess we're talking about PJs and nightmares. My heavens.
If you had to give me just a couple things you're afraid of.
I don't like heights.
Okay.
Which is weird because it's like I like roller coasters and stuff. Mm-hmm. Like I grew up loving all the big ones. But I guess it just helps me. It does. It's not as scary because you're like strapped in.
You feel secure on it.
Yeah, but forget that Superman ride.
The one where you just drop straight down?
Yeah.
You're still strapped in?
I don't know why. I just don't.
Nothing under your feet, maybe?
I just don't feel as secure. I don't trust it.
Jackson loves him. The little mini one that's at the Hunt County Fair usually. It wasn't there this year, but he would ride that thing over and over and it just drops straight down.
Yeah, that one's smaller. I could probably do that one. Yeah. You know, I could maybe I could recover from that fall if something happened.
I mean, maybe. Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't really care for heights. I don't like snakes.
So if a snake was crawling to you.
Oh God, no. Oh God, no.
Yeah. Like if you were going on like Fear Factor and they're like, what are your biggest fears?
Dude, I could not go on Fear Factor because here's the thing. They eat weird stuff. Mm-hmm. And like, they put them in like a box and like cockroaches and spiders.
Uh-huh.
I'm about to gag. No.
Okay, that's perfect.
No.
Okay.
No.
So
you know, if it was just like a regular old cockroach, maybe. But sometimes they're like hissing cockroaches. I think that bite you and stuff. I don't want.
There are different kinds of cockroaches.
Yes, girl.
What are the kind that are always here in the heat of the summer?
I think those are just regular cockroaches. I don't know. I'm pretty sure there are different kinds. Yeah.
Okay. So today I'm kind of going with fears.
Oh,
just kind of
thank you.
Stories about fears, and the first story. That's funny that you say that because
oh God, it's about cockroaches.
Well. So the first one says, I lied about my biggest fear on a quiz show and subsequently won a car and made the other contestants lose.
She lied about a fear?
Yeah. I think it's a guy, but...
And so he lied and won something?
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of those things, like, I don't know that I would tell a game show what my biggest fear is, because then it's going to come true.
Exactly.
You got to play the card, am I right?
Exactly. They're playing a game.
My biggest fear is to win $1 million. I wouldn't know what to do with it.
Here's $1 million. Yeah.
Put it in a shoebox.
So this guy says...
Put it in my bank account so I don't have to look at it.
I want to see it. He says, this is a hot topic in my family at the moment. I live on an obscure little island near the UK. We have a local quiz show that's aired on the telly.
Oh my gosh.
I love that. A few years ago. The premise of the show is that you can win prizes for doing challenges. So it's like a Fear Factor type thing. Some of the challenges were physical, some psychological, and some requiring problem-solving skills. I sailed through a lot of the physical part because I wasn't...
Because you weren't what? Because it wasn't what?
Wasn't fat back then.
Oh.
And the problem-solving...
What a way to put it. I was decent shape back then.
Yeah, he just says I wasn't overweight back then. And the problem-solving skills required a lot of maths.
All the maths.
Which is my career, so I was okay there. As for the psychological part, you had to enter a clear box room filled with something you're terrified of. Kittens. And search through to find to the next part.
I hate cats. I'm so scared of wiener dogs.
Yeah. So he said, I thought of a believable lie before I entered the show. We had to list 5 things we were afraid of, and I put down all the things I'm not scared of. He said, I listed spiders, cockroaches, snakes, scorpions, and woodlice. I literally couldn't care less about any of these creatures. I grew up in rural landscape, and I've had to pretty much deal with creepy crawlies my entire life. It's literally not an issue. My actual fear is a bit more obscure, and I really honestly knew I'd fail if I was put in a room with it.
I wonder what it is. Does it say? But you know what? Honestly, at least he didn't he put believable stuff.
He didn't put kittens and weenie dogs.
Yeah. Well, his family, he said this is an issue in his family, so his family knew, we know you're not scared of those things.
So, when I entered the room, there were cockroaches everywhere. I was in my boxers and barefoot.
Can you imagine if you crunch down on those things with your bare feet?
I can't,
I just want to, my feet don't even want to touch the floor now.
Boxers, they're up your legs and stuff.
They're crawling up
yeah.
Getting in your...
All in your business.
In your business.
If you ever had cockroaches in your business, I don't think I could ever recover.
Oh my gosh, no.
No.
Have you ever had a tick on you before?
I haven't.
Oh my gosh. We went and toured my brother's land and sighted in some guns or whatever one time. And I go out there and Bailey and Kyler are like, you might want to wear a hat. We're going to be walking through the woods. And I was like, I don't want to wear a hat.
Ew.
So he's like, it's mainly for the ticks. I was like, what? And so I very jokingly was like, hey Logan, lift up your shirt, let me check you for ticks. Sure enough, there was one crawling on him. It was ugh.
Did you get it off?
I did get it off.
Good. Look at you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were everywhere.
Cockroaches everywhere.
They were crawling up our pants and stuff like that.
I don't think I'd be able to function with cockroaches everywhere. No. Cockroaches really, really just make me want to barf. No.
Mm-mm.
So, barefoot, which was incredibly gross, I can't lie, and had to sift through and move the cockroaches to find clues for my next challenge. I did it in the time period ascribed to me and got through to the next part. The rest of the contestants failed. So nobody else made it through that part. Now, I won a pretty average car, which I didn't particularly want, so as soon as I legally could, I sold it and made a nice profit since it was pretty much brand new, and bought myself a rather nice car. I told my family this recently on a drunken night when we all were at a get-together, and although everybody found it uproariously funny, my family are split into 2 camps. Some people think I cheated and was ethically and morally wrong, and other people think the other contestants deserve to lose if they listed their actual fears. He's just basically like, what do you think?
What do most people think?
Top comment says, nah, the TV producers are producing entertainment. You provided entertainment. It sucks that people lost, but it's a windfall, not an entitlement.
I mean, like I said, I don't know if I had like a fear that was like believable, you know, like I feel like all my fears are pretty typical, like they're all on the shows. But if I was genuinely okay with cockroaches, like what if you studied weird bugs and then you go on there and you're like, oh, I hate bugs.
Yeah.
You think I'm really going to tell you my real fear?
That's what they're like,
you know, like,
why, you know,
play the game.
You're playing a game to win.
Play the game, dude. I'm not, you know.
He didn't say I'm afraid of grass or something, you know.
It's still entertaining.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, he was smart, and he's like, I've seen this show. Mm-hmm. They are going to put me in a room of these things. Mm-mm. I'm sorry that no one else. Everyone put things they're actually scared of.
But you know what? Like, but to his defense, like...
He still had to climb through cockroaches.
Yeah, and he still had to, like... Yeah, he still had to do all that stuff. But honestly, like... He just sounds almost like a pretty fearless dude to me, because those are things that typically would scare people. Like, what else could you have possibly put?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just almost like luck of the draw. Like, okay, well, in the room full of people, nobody's afraid of cockroaches but me, so I'm going to lose. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
What, I mean, if he's not afraid of that stuff, I wonder what he actually is afraid of that they could, like, legit put in a box.
I did look through to see if he commented and said what he was actually scared of, and no. It just says, besides, the others already failed, so it's not like something was stolen from them. Mm-hmm. Like, even if he put something he was afraid of, nobody else made it past their room. You know, nobody else got past that stage. You know what I mean? Like, they still would have lost.
I almost think he studied up. He studied up and he played the game.
Someone said it's a game show and he outplayed the other contestants.
I'm just saying he put thought into it ahead of time.
Yeah.
But then again, it's like with a guy like that, you were probably going to lose anyway.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Because I'm still quite puzzled as to like what else.
He says it was very entertaining, made the local paper too at the time. The audience also loved it because there was a mic in there and you could hear the rustling of the cockroaches.
And you had to get all ASMR with that, didn't you?
And someone says the rustling of the cockroaches would be a good title for a tell-all book. The rustling.
So what did he say again? Cockroaches, scorpions, and
he said he put
cockroaches, spiders, and scorpions. That's what he said.
Spiders, cockroaches, snakes, scorpions, and woodlice.
Ew.
That would be gross.
I would not like that.
I want to know what he was actually afraid of.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, those are all the grossest things ever. I don't know what you could possibly put in there.
Super believable. I'm sure the producers were like, he's, you know.
Oh, here we go. Easy dude.
That's probably what most of the things said.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, see, but then what would you put? You're going into a game show. What do you put? It's got to be believable, but you've got to be able to, you know. Like, I couldn't put birds. I would fail. I'm terrified of birds.
I just don't understand that, Alyssa. They're in the sky and they're not bugging you.
That's not always true.
What?
There was 2 on my car today when I came out of Walmart.
Oh my gosh, you shoo them away.
No, like, the flapping, the talons, the beaks.
Have you ever been personally victimized by a bird?
Only when they come to try to eat out of your hands, you know?
But you can control that.
No, one time Zach and I were camping and there was like a vulture or something perched on a tree, and I literally bawled. I wouldn't go over. Zach was like, "It's gonna be okay." Now I'm just
trying to figure out like where this came from.
I don't know. I mean, I remember when we went to a drive-through zoo when I was younger, and an ostrich attacked our car.
Okay.
And like my dad is looking through the camera lens so it looks far away. Mm-hmm. And my mom's like, roll up the window, because it's like running towards us.
Oh.
And he's thinking it's farther away.
And it's not.
And so he barely got it up, and it was like pecking on the glass. Those things are mean.
Oh, I mean, that would...
It's the flapping. It's like the rustling of the cockroach. It's the flapping of the wings. Ask Kinsey. Kinsey Gershom is terrified of birds also.
I guess I just don't get it. But like some people be like, you're afraid of a little cockroach? And I'm like, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like... Christina is terrified of snakes. Like, can't even look at a picture of a snake.
I don't like it either. Ugh, they just.
I mean, I don't want to get bit by one, but it doesn't bother me.
Oh,
snakes don't really bother me.
They terrify me because they're deadly. They're deadly.
Birds can be deadly. You ever watched the birds? I haven't, but I heard they
bird flu. They give you some bird flu.
No, they can peck you to death. Those suckers could get your eyeballs out with their beaks.
You want to see what I would do?
That's what they're good at. What if there's a bunch of them?
Everywhere.
If you're watching right now on YouTube, please.
I would just karate chop them. Anyway, I'm not judging you. I'm not judging you, but everybody else will.
It's all right. Me and Kinsey, we know what it's about. Okay, so next up. So that one was a good way to handle your fears. He outsmarted fears there. This one, it's not really funny.
But is it though?
This one says, am I the jerk for telling my girlfriend her irrational fear of me dying is starting to piss me off? You know, have you ever looked at Logan and be like, would you date me if I was a worm?
Yes, I was literally... Alyssa, you remember? I was literally like, because I asked Logan, you know, it's okay. Okay,
you see these silly things and you're like, well, what would he say?
Here's the thing. I don't know what it is about women. I'm just going to call us out right now. I think we have the most intrusive thought. I think we have more intrusive thoughts than men. That's just my opinion. Because sometimes I'll ask Logan questions and he has this face where he does this thing where he just squinches it and he just shakes his head like that. And it's like every time I know when I ask him something and I get that little head shake, I'm like,
never mind, I didn't ask you.
I just well, are you going to answer it?
But would you?
Yeah. I'm like,
what did Logan say when you asked him?
Would you still like me if, I don't know, like I've said all kinds of things. Like, would you still like me if, most of the time it's like, you know, if I gained a little bit of weight or would you have still dated me if I was a little bit younger or some just silly thing.
Would we have been friends in high school?
Yeah. What if, you know, do you think we could have met in high school and we didn't know? Because like I played basketball in Lindell.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I was like, you know, just silly questions. But I don't think we've gotten to the whole, like, if I die, would you remarry, you know, or something like that?
Okay, so I've asked Zach, I think we talked about it on his episode, and I was like, if I died, would you still stay in contact with the boys? Because, like, they would go to their dad more, and I mean, that was, you know. And he's like, can you just not die? Like, can we just,
why?
And I'm like,
skip that part?
I'm like, but what if I do, and we've never talked about it? I'm going to die thinking you're never going to see them again. Okay, anyway.
I would like to know this, like when she says it's irrational, because, like, you know, Logan has a dangerous job, and I don't think about that, but it's like, I do think about, like, you know, what if he got hurt? Like, you know, what would happen or whatever, but... I mean, does this guy have a dangerous job or does he work at a donut shop?
So she has a reason. She has reasons.
Okay.
So my girlfriend and I are both 21. We've been together for about a year now. I love the girl to bits. She's my best friend and I absolutely love being with her. Love her to bits.
Love her to bits. I want somebody to start telling me that. I love you to bits.
I'll tell you that. I love you to bits.
To bits. That's why you said, I love you to bits. You know, just say intensely like that.
Okay,
I love you to bits.
I'm just gonna look at you and go to bits.
To bit. That's it. To bits.
Hang with us here, guys.
It's late.
It is. This is a late night.
We don't ever record this late.
We never record late at night. We both have a busy schedule. We're trying to.
We got vacations planned.
Produce good content for you while we're also enjoying our summer.
To bits.
Because we love you guys to bits. Okay, we had very different childhoods. I was brought up with both my parents in a stable environment. My girlfriend experienced the death of her father suddenly when she was 7 years old and has been suffering ever since.
Okay, fair.
Like I said, I love my girlfriend, but she has the most irrational fear of me being dead. If I don't answer the phone or text her back immediately, she will literally look up car crashes in my town to check if I'm dead. If I wake up slightly later than usual, I wake up to my phone spammed to the max with messages asking whether I'm okay.
How old was Dad? How old was she when Dad died?
7.
Okay, that's still very vivid for 21. I mean, I've not lost a parent, so I can only imagine. But
At first, I dealt with it, and it was somewhat endearing, but now it gets on my nerves more than anything. I know it's draining for my girlfriend, and almost every time she realizes I'm okay, she breaks down crying, saying how crazy she feels, and most of the time I comfort her and tell her she's not crazy. But yesterday morning, I decided to have a lie-in.
A lion?
A lie-in, like sleeping in, I think.
Oh.
Like a lie-in, like a lazy day is what it sounds like.
Okay. I was say, wow.
I had been drinking with my friends the night before and wanted to sleep.
Okay.
Fair. I wake up to 60 messages and about
60
and 25 missed phone calls. I rang her. It sounds like they don't live here. I rang her and she was crying her eyes out. And like always, said she felt crazy.
Well, honey.
And this time I said, yeah, you freaking are. And although I meant it as a joke, she didn't take it like one.
No. What?
I mean, in the middle of a panic attack for something.
Yeah, you are.
You have a fear. She has a fear. We ended up in a heated discussion about it, and she said I didn't understand her trauma and why she does it. I said she should get help for it instead of waiting for me to die and pissing me off constantly.
Waiting for me to die?
She went silent and hung up the phone. It's been 24 hours and she's hardly spoken to me. My parents have both said that I'm a massive jerk. What do you think? I'll let you go first and then I'll kind of give my thoughts.
I think in the moment he was a jerk. Is he an overall jerk? I don't think so. No. I mean, it almost sounds like a parent where after a while you lose your patience with your kid. You know
gentle
what I mean?
Parenting until your child's not gentle.
You know, but like my thoughts are that I feel bad for the girl, honestly. She's got to be exhausted.
That's what he said. He said, I know it's draining for her.
So honestly, like she needs to be in some like intense therapy. Like I'm almost like, did your mom, did your mom put you in it? Like, cause
it doesn't sound like she's dealt with it at all.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like if right after that happened, like you should have maybe she didn't. It just wasn't successful. I don't know, but it doesn't sound like she did enough.
No.
For her sake, it's like you need to get help because you know, again, like if she's constantly like worrying about him, like is she even like sometimes that anxiety hurts you too, like where you're not even productive.
Right.
You know,
well, like, I mean, he slept in late and 60 messages and 25 calls. She's literally like,
what does she do while he's at work? Like, you know what I mean?
If
like,
you don't hear from, you know what I mean?
I'm at work, you know? Like, I'm just curious, like, if he has to check in while he's at work or hanging out with friends or working out. I mean, just
like she's looking up car crashes in the area. She's like
how long can y'all go without talking before she freaks out?
Right.
I mean, I know he loves her to bits, but it's like,
and that's the thing. It's like, I understand he's right. She needs help. Now, could he have said it differently? Yes. But he's been for a year
dealing with it and
comforting her.
Everybody explodes every now and then.
I don't think he's a jerk. I think he just, you know, got to his breaking point and broke.
If one of my siblings did that, I'd be like, oh, man.
You need to
apologize. You upset her, dude. Like, she's got issues. Okay. Yeah. But I don't know. Like,
that would be hard. Now, I have once or twice been like, haven't been able to get a hold of Zach. And, you know, sometimes he drives because he drives so early in the morning and he's so sleepy. And Zach will like, I don't want to call you out, babe, but like his eyes will like close. When he's tired, he like, he'll straight up fall asleep. And and so sometimes I do worry. Like he always texts me good morning. He leaves at 4 a.m. I get up at like 6. I always wake up to a text like, good morning, I love you, have a good day. So if I haven't heard from him, I'm like, he crashed, you know, but I'm not spamming him and upset in a panic. I'm just like, hey,
yeah,
you okay?
Like,
you know,
checking on you.
Yeah. And I may be worried, but I'm not.
Like don't worry until there's a reason to worry.
Like, you know, she needs help. I mean, she needs help.
Bless her heart. I feel so bad.
Yeah.
Because again, like anxiety is exhausting.
And all the comments kind of are on the same page. Nah, my friend, it's, I always think they're saying nah.
What is it?
They're saying not a jerk.
Wait, what?
Not
the
butthole. No. They're voting not the...
What are you talking about?
They're saying... Because, you know, it's a vote. It's like...
Not a-hole.
Yes. Yes. And I always think they're going, nah, you're not.
Nah.
I learned something on Reddit
I don't
today.
know. I'm just telling you right now, that makes me so happy that you didn't know one. I'm not cheering for your downfall, but it's
okay.
like,
it's okay.
Like, wow, Alyssa didn't know. Oh my gosh.
Okay, so
you went from master's to doctorate. That's fast.
Dang it. It sounds like your girlfriend really needs counseling. Her fears are definitely irrational, but outside of her control. You care about each other, which is great because you're going to need to support her in getting some help to put her fears to rest. And everyone kind of agrees. Like, you could have been more, the way you worded it obviously was a little off the handle. Mm-hmm. Okay, this comment. It is not healthy to live this way. My brother was killed by a drunk driver when I was in high school. It affected me for a long time. It was not unusual for me to call my husband's friends, hospitals, jails, and police if he went radio silent during a night out. Therapy helps. I still get freaked out occasionally, but it's now after more than a day of no contact instead of an hour of no contact. He travels for work internationally, so that's why sometimes we have 24 hours of unplanned silence. Oh, it says we have 24 hours of unplanned silence before I'm allowed to freak out.
Okay,
so there's like limits.
Okay, that might be something that's pretty helpful.
Like, I don't think that girl could handle going 24 hours no contact.
Well, it's one that, maybe not 24 hours to start with, but it's like, hey, if you haven't heard from me in like 4 hours, if I haven't checked in with you in like 4 hours, and from the time you sent that message,
yes, start the clock. Yeah, but
that might give her like she do some deep breathing or something in that time. You know what I mean? Like just something.
Like something that she does to kind of calm herself down.
That's a good.
She said he also works with me. He tells me, hey, I'm going to be doing this. I won't be answering you. She said he also turns his phone's location on to help me out if he's going to be quiet for a while.
That sounds like a lot of communication, which is good.
Very healthy. Mm-hmm. But she also did her part and went to therapy and got the guidance she needed. So
very true.
It's hard. Trauma is hard.
It is. And it just makes you do weird things. Like, I had night terrors, like, for the longest time. Like, I'd wake up and like, look around. And I remember the first, like, time or two I did it in front of Logan. Like, he was like, I don't even know if you're awake or are you good or whatever. And I'm just like,
you can't help me. Yeah.
Eventually, he was like, I just started putting you back to bed. Like, just kind of lay down.
You are fine.
We'll deal with this later.
I'll talk to you about it tomorrow. It's fine.
Apparently, I talk a lot in my sleep, too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know if I think I said it on the podcast before, but you told me the day of my wedding to go let the dog out.
That was so bossy of me on your wedding day.
But you were not, I think you even called me Logan. You were like, Logan, go let the dog out. And I was like, yes, dear.
I do a lot of weird things in my sleep. I blame the trauma.
And then you're like, I need to take Bonnie out. And I'm like,
I just did.
No, babe, I already did it.
No, babe, I did it. I did it. Well, have you ever had like a nightmare like that, like it felt so real and you woke up like legit, like terrified or like scared?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, I've had, let's see, I had one and it's very vivid still. And I don't usually remember them, long past, but there are a few that stand out. When Josh was born, I had,
wow,
I know.
Must be like pretty.
When Josh was born, I had recurring dreams. It was like night after night that it's not rational, but I was also 8, but that he was like taken by a lion. Like the lion grabbed him out of my mom's and he carried him around like a dog carries a bone and like ran off and I couldn't get to him. And it was every night. I mean, it was like night after night. My baby brother was being taken by a lion, which sounds so stupid. And I'd have to go get in my parents' bed. Like I couldn't like calm down. Because Josh was like my baby.
It's weird that you say that because I remember being really little, like 7, 8 or whatever.
Yeah.
And we would have like our big fun thing to do was like to make a big pallet in the living room.
Yeah.
Like and watch TV and like I had a cousin come over and all that stuff back in the olden days.
Kids don't make pallets these days.
No. Because like we didn't have a TV in our room. And not everybody could sleep on the couch.
Right.
So a big pallet.
Yeah, we made pallets.
That was the best.
We made pallets on Christmas Eve. Like we'd all sleep in one room, me and my brothers and like stay up all night. Like
that's so fun.
Yeah. I miss being a kid.
Dude, yeah. I remember it would get so cold in the winter and like we had a big like wood burning stove in our living room. So we would all pile in there and like the living room would be so warm. Like we're like stripping off clothes because we're like sweating. Yeah. It's freezing outside.
Yeah.
Good times. No, but I remember being really little, and in my dream, I was in a car with my brother.
Yeah.
And I don't remember anybody driving the car. I just remember being in the car, and it drove off, and I could see my parents. And
so they weren't driving?
No.
Okay.
So I guess it was like I was being kidnapped, but like I don't remember in my dream.
Maybe Nana was driving.
I don't remember in my dream there wasn't like anybody I was seeing where I'm like, oh, please stop. It's just like I knew the car was moving and I couldn't make it stop.
Yeah.
And I was just kind of sitting there looking around like, oh my gosh, like we got to drive back to mom. We got to drive back to mom.
Yeah.
And then in my dream we finally make it back, and I'm like relieved, and the door opens. And right before I can get out, it slams again. And I remember when the door slammed in my dream, like I jumped up and like kind of screamed. And I remember my parents coming in there, like, "What's wrong?" And I'm like,
"I can't get out of the car."
Yeah, I was like, "I just couldn't get out of the car. Like y'all were gone." And they're like, "What are you talking about?" You know. But that was a scary dream. I still remember it to this day.
Yeah, that's like It's so weird.
It's weird. It's weird with the stuff that sticks.
Most recently, you want to hear the craziest scary dream I had recently, which is when you say it out loud. You know when you say a dream out loud and it was so scary in the moment, but then you say it out loud and you're like, what? Okay, so this was literally probably in the last few months. I had a dream that Noah was kidnapped by Peter Dinklage. He's a midget, like he's on Game of Thrones.
Oh,
and,
he's
like
stolen?
Yeah.
Oh.
And Peter Dinklage was running a trafficking ring, but not like
he's listening to this and being like, what the hell?
I know. I have nothing against Peter Dinklage. Like, I don't know where
I like him.
But he was having kids perform like Disney on ice skates, and he's running and he's like having people pay to come see all these kidnapped kids perform like Disney on ice stuff.
Wow.
And somehow like I figured out where Noah was. Yeah. And so I went to like the place and I'm like, Noah's like performing and I'm like, Noah. And like I woke up before I ever like got him back, but like it was like me like trying to get back to Noah and this midget ring of Disney. Like it was, but it was.
What Disney character was he?
I don't remember.
Peter Pan, probably.
I could see Noah being a Peter Pan, or like a Sven from Frozen.
Oh yes,
like Noah. Sven. You know what I mean? Reindeers are better than people. I love Frozen.
I have a lot of falling dreams where I'll be like this. You know, like the big jump.
I hate that feeling
because like I feel like all my muscles tighten up.
It hurts. It gives my belly the like somersault feeling. I hate that.
It's weird because you're literally laying perfectly still.
I'm laying flat in my bed. Like how?
But you have that falling sensation. Yes. It's so weird. I have a lot of those dreams actually.
I can't stand that. I really can't.
Grinds my gears.
I'm like, would you just cut it out, body or mind or whatever's wrong? What causes that? Have you ever looked at that?
I don't know. I get curious about dreams every now and then. Like, I read somewhere. I don't know if it was true or not. But we actually dream almost every night or every night. We just don't remember it.
Right. Zach doesn't remember any of his dreams like ever.
That's crazy to me.
I know.
Because, I mean, sometimes, you know, you have really happy dreams. You're like, oh.
I was about to say, have you ever had a dream where you're like, no, go back to sleep. Like, I want to keep living in the dream. Have you ever had one? I want to say yes, but I can't remember off the top of my head. Now, there are dreams where it's like in my dream, I know I'm dreaming. Right. Like one time, because around school, when school is about to start, I have a lot of those. Yeah. Like I'm in my classroom and I'm not prepared. And then my conscious brain or whatever, I'm like, nope, this is a dream. So does that mean that stress is tied to dreams then?
I would think so.
It's got to be. Because
that makes sense.
I've had so many server dreams. Where I'm serving like a cafeteria full, like it's been in my high school cafeteria, and I've got all like 500 tables, and they all want something, and I can't like get to everybody.
Oh my gosh!
I still have server dreams. I haven't served tables in a little while.
That's stressful.
And if you ask anybody, like we used to talk about at Chili's, like all servers have server dreams where you're just like, I can't, because it's such a stressful like job. I think it correlates over like.
Do you ever have dreams where you're like naked?
Oh yeah.
I remember one time I had a dream that I was in my parents' backyard. This is we had a green and yellow swing set. I had a dream one time that I was in like my underwear, like swinging, and like family was coming over, like a family reunion. And I'm just swinging. I'm just swinging, and I remember in my dream, I'm like, oh my gosh, I gotta go put some clothes on or whatever.
Come on, Casey.
But Dream Casey was like, I'm gonna keep swinging.
That's future Casey.
You know what I mean? Like I was like, come on, Casey. And you're like, oh, I'm just.
And you're like frustrated with yourself.
It's a nice day out, you know.
Yeah. Dreams are weird.
So weird. Last question about dreams. Do you have any dreams where your teeth fall out?
I haven't had that one.
I have had one. Like And it's weird because it's like I watched my teeth like grow back together, like fill in the gap.
Oh, it like fell out and then your other teeth were like, we got you.
It was weird.
That is weird. Wonder what that means. We should look into like.
Oh, there's so many theories.
There's so much psychology. On Gilmore Girls, you know, Lorelai always has lots of weird dreams, and she's always asking Rory. But that's what it always makes me think of. She's like, "What does this mean? What does this mean?" And Rory's like, "I don't know."
Dude, I don't know everything. I'm just a genius.
I don't know how we started talking about dreams.
Nightmares.
Yeah, there you go.
The scaries.
The scaries. Okay, get some therapy, girl. Get some help. Okay, this one says, my mom is embarrassed with the way that I handled my fear. Okay. How so? Since I was young, I always had a fear of needles. I'm 17 now. I'm still young. Do you have a fear of needles?
I don't. I used to. I don't. I guess because I'm older now and I've had enough. But like my sister Caitlin, she was like deathly afraid of needles for the longest time. Like one time, Cricket brought us all in to like get shots for school or whatever, and Caitlin somehow bobbed and weaved and dodged and like ran out of the doctor's office.
She got out?
She got out, dude. She fled the scene.
Isn't she also the one that hid with the diapers when she was little?
Oh my God, yes.
She's a little escape artist.
She is. Yes. But anyway, she totally fled the scene. She was like deuces. And we were like running around the office trying to catch her.
Oh my gosh. So Steven was afraid, like, he really didn't like the dentist, I guess, because he had teeth pulled. And so, the needles that go in your mouth.
It makes your whole, like, they put it back there in their jaw.
Yeah, I've had it where they put it in the roof of your mouth.
Oh, God, no.
Yeah, that's sensitive.
I've only had it, like, where they put it, like, almost right there at the, at the joint, the jaw joint.
Oh, they shove it up in there. And that.
Why would they do that? Why they need to do that?
Because to numb, like, the top of my, I don't know. Anyway, but Steven would, like, they'd have to have so many nurses and stuff hold him down. Like at the dentist, he bit the dentist. Like he was like swinging punches. He was little. Yeah, he's not a fan. I think Angela said Hayden is also not, and he's a big dude now. She's like, it takes lots of people to hold him down.
Caitlin did the same thing. Like she had to get like this gas stuff on her face, like those.
Yep.
And then she had this, it was pink and she kept doing this. She's like, I'm just going to get that pink thing. I'm going to get that pink thing. And it was like waving her hands around in the air. Like they had to drug her up to get anything done.
It's so weird because I have so many tattoos. I think I've got like 20 or 18 or something.
I think it's because it's like a choice. Like it's like it's a happy choice. Whereas I would prefer you not to stick a needle in my mouth.
The mouth ones bother me, but like, and I never could watch. I mean, I had a lot of blood, I have the tumor. So I had a lot of needles at one point, like it was constant. I'd have blood work done once a month, like, and, I could never watch it. Like I couldn't watch it was more like the grossness. Not I was afraid of it. You could do it. But if I watched it, I'd get all like woozy. Yeah. But now like I just had this tattoo done and I literally like fell asleep like while I was doing it. It was so relaxing.
You're a pro now. Yeah, I don't think I could really say I'm afraid of needles anymore because I willingly got like 10 shots in my lips or whatever. I didn't count, but I willingly sat there and did that.
Did it hurt?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not even going to front on you.
Noted.
Worth it.
You can go with me and hold my hand?
I will.
Okay, so when she was young, she had a fear of needles, and she said, I was the kind of person who would squirm and kick around whenever getting a shot or my blood drawn. Over the years, I became less squirmy, but recently I had to get my school shots and was trying to think of ways to keep myself distracted while getting the shots. See, she's trying to come up with healthy coping mechanisms.
There we go.
So when in the doctor's office, as the nurse was prepping my arm, I started to focus on the floor. The floor there has a lot of geometric shapes and very pale colors, so I started loudly complimenting it, and it distracted me enough to keep still as I got my shots. I was so proud of myself for coming up with a new way to deal with my fear until we got to the car. Mom starts yelling at me in the car about how I embarrassed her by being weird by talking about the floor. I tried to explain to her how it kept me distracted and made me not squirm, but she cut me off and refused to let me explain. The next time I had to get shots, they were 2-dose shots, so it was the second dose. I did the tactic again, and my mom got mad at me again. I asked my friends what I should do, and while some say I should stick to the tactic because it works for me, some of my other friends agree with my mom that I embarrassed her and that I was the jerk for not considering her feelings in all of this.
I'm getting a needle stuck in my body.
I'm saying the floor is cool. Like what? Who are you embarrassed? There's a nurse in there?
Yeah. One person. I'm sorry, but I'm sure the medical professionals probably figured out what she was doing. Like, I'm sure they could sense that, like...
I'm sure they'd rather her do that than be moving around.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm sure, like, hey, you want to talk about the tiles so I can do my job better? Go for it.
Can you imagine if Ada started, like, singing a song or, like, hey, the floor is wet, and you're like, you embarrassed me.
I wouldn't.
It's like, your kid is afraid...
Yeah, and honestly...
You should be having a conversation with her, getting her mind off of it.
Yeah.
And her friends agreeing?
What was she saying? That towel looks like butt cheeks. I don't know, like, what... I'm just trying to think of something.
Well, yeah, like, was it inappropriate?
Yeah, I mean, if she was, like, cussing or using foul language or saying something, maybe, but, like...
So it says, edit. Over the years, I tried several ways not to focus on the shots, like listening to music, squeezing something, holding a toy, and nothing worked. But this seemed to be the only tactic that worked for me. So now I'm here because I'm starting to wonder if I'm a jerk for not considering how she would react to the tactic.
No. You're advocating for yourself. You found something that works for you. It sounds like I say I'm afraid of needles. I just definitely didn't like them.
Yeah. No one ever had to hold me down.
Right. Yeah, exactly. I just didn't like them. So you genuinely have a legit fear if you're trying to think of different coping skills to use in the office.
Your kid comes first always.
I think the mom's a jerk.
I think the mom is 100% a jerk.
I guarantee you nobody in that office cared that she was talking about those tiles.
I am like shocked that was even brought up. That she even scolded her for it.
Yeah, I'd have been like, hey, are you still that scared?
Like it's mind-blowing to me. This person said, I'm a scrub tech and our patients say all kinds of stuff to alleviate their anxiety. It doesn't faze any of us. The nurse probably didn't even register what you were doing.
Yeah. Just too busy focusing on work.
Everyone is like, you're completely valid. It's nobody's business how you handle your fear. Your mom needs to deal with her own feelings. Yeah. That one's just almost, it's like, that's
I'd like to stick that
Mom.
Mom in a box of cockroaches and tell her to figure out a way to go.
Let the cockroaches eat her to bits.
To bits. I don't understand that.
I don't get it. Okay, this one is okay, well let me just start. I don't ever have a way of describing these two without like giving it all away.
Okay.
So this one says, my wife is I told my wife that she needs to get over being upset with me for pulling a scare prank on our son.
First of all, my dad used to scare us all the time as kids. Mm-hmm. Like that was just, and I think that's why we do stupid pranks now.
Yeah. I like pranks as long as they don't hurt anybody, like actually hurt. I know some people are like not a fan of pranks. Like I love that Katie and Laura used to like
I was
jump
literally
out.
just about to say that.
Did you see she posted one today?
Yes.
Where she scared Kendra?
Good times.
Like I love that kind of stuff. I think it's so funny.
So the wife got mad at the dad?
So yes. So last Friday night, I, 37 male, was hanging out with my daughter, 10, watching a movie. My wife, 34 female, was working late while our son, 9, was hanging out with his friend. Around 8 p.m., his friend's mom texted me, letting me know that she was driving him home. I thanked her and let my daughter know that her brother was on his way. She then suggested that we play a prank on him in which we jump out and scare him.
Typical.
I thought it was
minor league.
Very. I remember
basic.
Even still, my boys are like, someone's about to walk in the door, and they're like, "Let's hide out."
It's so fun.
It's so standard.
Yes.
Basic white girl pranks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought it would be a funny practical joke, and long story short, she and I ended up putting on scary Halloween masks, dimming the lights, and hiding behind a couch. So they added a little scarier element.
Razzle-dazzle.
A little razzle-dazzle for him. I then texted his friend's mom and told her that his sister and I were watching a movie to go ahead and send him down to the family room downstairs when he got home. So he knows where to go. He got home and came in. We heard him come in and say, hello, and then come down the stairs. When he got close, we jumped out at him and shouted, ah. Now, here's where I fully admit that I messed up.
Oh, what?
I thought he'd just be startled for a second and then would laugh with us over the prank, but that's not what happened.
Oh, no.
We ended up frightening him way more than I anticipated. He first started running off and then ended up having a huge, trembling, crying adrenaline dump for a long time.
Dump?
Just like an adrenaline dump, like just like...
Oh, I thought...
Like a fit. He was just having like a... Oh. Yeah. I felt really bad and so did his sister. But that is all they did. They didn't take it any further. They jumped out and scared him. He just got really scared.
Yeah.
His mother came home not long after and ended up sitting with him, hugging and comforting him. Naturally, she wasn't amused by my antics, which I understand because, again, I screwed up.
It sounds like he feels really bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, he's 9. That's like Jackson if I scared him really bad. That I would assume, like he's old enough that it wouldn't be like, you couldn't scare Ada with Halloween masks. That obviously. She's little.
I just can't picture Jackson really being scared. He's got this sassy, like, strong, punky personality.
Oh, I've scared him.
Really?
Yeah.
I'd like for you to film that.
Oh, I'm going to start doing that.
Yeah, I just don't see... I mean, Noah has more of a tender heart, so I don't know why.
Noah is very jumpy. He's so easy to scare. It's not even fun.
Like, Jackson, I could just see him, like, giving you this look, like, nice try. Yeah. I just don't picture it, but...
Yeah. He's my prank buddy. He loves to pull pranks. Anyway... however, she has stayed mad at me for all these days afterwards. She will barely talk to me. I eventually got tired of it and told her that she needs to get over it. I screwed up, but I didn't mean any harm. I just way underestimated how much our prank would scare our son. I also think that our daughter is seeing how she is treating me over it and is being made to feel way too bad over it.
Oh, so she feels real bad too.
Because it was her idea.
Oh.
And it was just playful. It was not bad natured, but she says I should have known better and she won't seem to forgive me. I get it. She's always been a complete mama bear, but it's not as if I don't love our kids too. Was my prank honestly so beyond that I deserve to keep being punished over it?
No. That was like, it's not like you put out like fake blood and like somebody, like.
They jumped out and said boo or whatever, and he got really scared. They didn't like keep going with it once they knew he was scared. They just.
So one time, we went trick-or-treating. So we went trick-or-treating, and I don't know how, but my family got a hold of some CD, and it would play like spooky Halloween sounds, right?
Yeah.
Well, my dad got to the house before we did and put that CD on, and we could hear it in the house. We're like, what?
So you've been out trick-or-treating?
Yeah. Okay. We all went, but for some reason, I guess maybe we had 2 cars. My dad got off work or whatever. But anyway, he beat us home, and we hear that music playing.
Yeah.
And the door is like kind of cracked, like the front door. Like obviously somebody's been in there. And so we open the door.
He even left it cracked.
And we're looking around.
Yeah.
And we walk through the living room. When we walk to the kitchen, there's like a sliding glass door to go outside from our kitchen. All of a sudden, that door flies open. My dad goes in to grab Kyle to scare him. And then my brother rears back and just knocks him right in the face.
Which is fair. When you go to prank someone like that, you take on the risk that they might hit you. I'm sure.
To this day, like we talked about, it's so funny.
Yeah. It is funny. Anyway, I follow this couple on TikTok where they prank each other all the time. And she pranked him. The other day I saw one, and she always hides like Bluetooth speakers. Now you can do stuff like that because phones connected. So she'll hide like a Bluetooth speaker in the trunk, and like she kept popping the trunk and it kept going off, and then he kept going and shutting it and being really irritated. And then he goes to shut it one time, and it like makes a really loud like I don't know what sound it was, but it was really loud. And she filmed him, and he like falls backwards over himself in the parking lot. Like that's over the top prank. You know what I mean? Like. This is not, but surprisingly, overall vote is that he's the jerk. I mean, like everybody, it's just, that's surprising to me. Like I get it. He knows he messed up. I don't think he's a jerk.
No, I don't think so either.
No. Anyway, that one to me was, so I'm always surprised when I'm like, it seems like very clear they're not the jerk, and everyone's like, oh, you're totally
It's like,
jerk.
I don't know.
Yeah. I have one more for ya. Let's see. This one, we'll just end with this one real quick. Okay. Am I the jerk for refusing to humor a child with the fear of dogs? So these people go to the beach, and And it says dogs were allowed, so I wasn't breaking any rules. The beach wasn't deserted. There was only a few people. And the parent next to us came up to us and said, hey, you need to leave. My daughter is scared of your dog. And he says, no, I have 2 small children. It's going to be a pain to pack up and leave. Dogs are allowed here without being on a leash. And she cussed him out and told him he was a jerk. And when he got home, his wife said, yeah, you absolutely were the jerk.
Really?
Yeah.
You couldn't like go to a different part of the beach? Like,
so the other family did. They packed up and left.
Okay.
But she was like, my daughter's scared of your dog. And he's like, my dog isn't anywhere near you.
Huh. I don't know. If Ada got scared of something, I would control the situation. Like, I would take control or ownership or whatever is going on. So
if a dog is allowed,
then you're running the risk.
Yeah. Anyway, hopefully you're not too scared. I just thought we'd go in with some fears. There's some good stories out there about people being afraid.
The spooky scaries.
Spooky. Y'all tune in next time, guys. Thanks for joining.
Bye.